Hello, welcome to the CQU Law Honours Program. I'm presuming this is going to be the first of the videos that you'll be watching, so I'm going to take this opportunity to introduce you a little bit to the Law Honours Program, how all the pieces of it fit together, and where we go from here. But we'll also talk about the dissertation unit, because the dissertation unit is the core of what we're doing in your honours program, and it's the most important of the subjects that the others will fit together with. So first of all, congratulations on being part of the program. You are the top tier of our law graduates, and this honours qualification recognises that achievement and will allow you to develop your skills and take your career in a direction where you will be able to set out an area of expertise. This program has been very carefully designed to be a bridge to the next phase for your career, whether that be in practice, whether that be further study, or whether it be something else completely different. So the course is comprised of 6 different units of study, 6 different subjects, and there are 3 of those in each term. There are 2 dissertation units, and that's really the core of the honours program. These are the subjects in which you will develop your own area of expertise, you'll develop a research paper, and you'll prepare something which at the end of the day will be of publishable quality. These are supported by 2 advanced legal research units. Now these are the scaffolding that support your dissertation, and each of these you'll both be learning new skills, but you will also be meeting a series of weekly tasks, and each of those tasks will give you the waypoints, the milestones you need to complete that dissertation, the core dissertation subject. The research subjects are also the subjects in which you'll be dealing with your peers and other students, so you'll actually have a bit of a community that comes out of that part. And the other 2 units are project-based units, and these units exist to give you an extra set of skills, so you're not just focusing on one area of study, and also to give you a practical and applied experience. The 2 project-based subjects also give you an opportunity to develop skills in the areas that we call the law landmarks, and these are areas of 21st century legal skills that exist outside of just your basic black letter law. These are 4 key areas that we will be discussing in a lot more depth in those subjects, but in brief, they are a risk analyst, a system builder, a knowledge designer, and a change catalyst. So these are things that will focus on the kind of lawyering skills you need to go forward, that look at the diversity of careers and the diversity of different career paths that are open to lawyers now. So as I said, we'll come back to that in more depth in those particular units. But I wanted at the moment, in this introductory phase, just to give you a big picture of the overview. So the overview is 3 units per term, and in each term you'll do 1 dissertation unit, 1 legal research unit, and 1 project-based unit. Make sense? You want to talk more about this, please give me a call and we can talk about it in more depth. Communication during your honours studies will largely be asynchronous. We will have a combination of emails back and forth, and discussions in the forums and so on, as per usual. We'll also be trialling this term a social learning platform called Perusal, and there'll be a video on that specifically later. But Perusal seems to be a very nice combination of something like a Kindle and social media, where you can deliver all your readings, where we will deliver to you all your readings, where you can make annotations for yourself, you can ask questions, you can share discussions with others directly on the text. We're trialling it this term, but we're hoping that that will be an excellent product. And it will also help you study in an asynchronous manner, so that we can keep in touch and keep in communication throughout the week. We will also have a single Zoom session each week of 2 hours for the entire honours program. So we won't be having 3 separate different Zoom sessions, 1 for each subject. We'll have 1 combination session where everyone will get together and we can discuss anything that's relevant across the honours program. And we'll figure out what night is the best one that's the most suitable for everyone to hold that. In the progress of your actual dissertation, you'll be supported by a team of 2 different academic team members. You'll have a dissertation supervisor, who is someone who is an expert in the field, who understands the topic and the legalities and all the research that goes into it. And on the other hand, you'll also have a program mentor, who is myself, as the honours coordinator. And the idea is that these two people are we're both here to help you, and we support you in different, although overlapping aspects. So the dissertation supervisor is really focusing on the research topic and the expertise involved in that. Your mentor will be helping you out with all the day-to-day and practical things, and also the more generic research skills and issues around timelines, issues around all the other aspects of the course. Now we'll be working together on that process, but the idea is that you'll actually have two contact points throughout the process so that you feel pretty well supported. And if you can't get in contact with one of us, you should be able to get in contact with the other. Now, I may or may not be supervising some dissertations, and in that case, I will make sure that there is another person available as a mentor so that everyone gets the same service. Now, on to assessment. You'll find that the honours assessment is a little bit different to what you might be used to at undergraduate level. You'll find that you're treated much more like an autonomous person, able to make your own decisions and your own plans. Obviously, we've got deadlines relating to assessment and times that we have to have assessment results into the centre of the university, but we will do as much as we can to try and help you build appropriate timelines that will mean that your life, your work and your studies all work together. It's one of the advantages of being an honours student is that with smaller numbers and with a higher skill level, we can trust you more to make those decisions for yourself. Now, in terms of the assessment items in the dissertation subject, you've got two items. The first is a plan. It's worth 20% and it's due in week 4. There are further guidelines on how to do this, but the idea is that you're basically going to be getting a plan together of how you'll proceed throughout the rest of the term and how you're going to complete that dissertation, which will get signed off by your supervisor, and it'll be something that I'll have a look at as well. Don't panic too much about this, because part of the purpose of the advanced legal research subject is that it will give you some of the tools to brainstorm ideas and to design your thesis and to design that plan. So, as I mentioned earlier, this thing has been worked. The multiple moving parts have been designed so that hopefully the whole honours program works as one, and it's not like studying 6 different isolated units of study. Now, 80% of your marks in the dissertation subject is for the final dissertation. We envisage this will be between 6,000 and 8,000 words, which is the length that most published papers are. Now, that varies from journal to journal, and one of the things we'll get you to do at the start is have a look at some of the journals that you might be looking at publishing in and get an idea of what they actually require. But 6,000 to 8,000 words is generally the length of a journal article. And we want to be practical here. We want to make sure that anything that you produce as the honours program is something that's going to return benefit to you. It's going to be something that you'll be able to publish, it's something you'll be able to put in your portfolio, and it's something you'll be able to show employers to demonstrate your particular skills. Now, the final dissertation in this subject will be examined by a panel of examiners, by your mentor, by your dissertation supervisor, and by an external third party. And the idea of that is to give you a broad range of feedback when you come into the process of then writing your paper up for submission to publication. We want to give you a sense of what the peer review process is like and what sort of professional feedback you can get from a variety of different places. And how you integrate those different forms of feedback and how that results in your final draft is a very interesting process. And I'm pretty sure it's something you haven't been through yet as an undergraduate student, so you'll probably find the process very interesting, and hopefully you'll find the feedback very useful as well. So, where do we go from here? Well, the first stage is going to be deciding on what your project is going to involve. And we don't expect that that's going to be something that you're going to instantly pull out of a hat as a fully formed research project. And again, this program is structured to support you in that process of moving from an idea that you want to investigate to having a structured and reasoned approach to how you go about that. But the first thing to do is to start thinking about what sort of area you're interested in, and then we will work to join you up with a supervisor who can help you out. Now, it may not be that we can provide a supervisor for every particular topic. We are constrained by the different areas of expertise from the staff and in the CQ Law School. However, we will do what we can, and we'll also work quite closely with you to try and design that topic and to find one that best suits the expertise of what we have at hand. So I'll be in touch with you personally to have a bit of a chat about that and to find some time to discuss what your ideas are. But the first thing you should do is probably start making a list of things that you think are interesting, and that can be things that you've studied at undergrad that you'd like to do more on, and it can also be other areas that you might be interested in through your work or through your life generally, of issues that you think are particularly interesting or demand attention. They can be areas that have a broader social context. One of the things you'll do as an honours student is move much further outside black letter law analysis and move into the field where we're actually critically looking at the role of law in society. What does law do to fix particular problems? What does law do to make some problems worse? And what can we do to work with, inside and around the law to develop the ideas of law, to look at what law does as a social institution? So you have a lot more scope here. It's not just about particular cases and particular legislation. It's also about the context, the way that law works, the way that it possibly doesn't work, and what we can do about that. Now, part of the idea of the two dissertation subjects is that these will be connected together, and there are no hard and fast rules here, but we imagine that Dissertation A will be a more general investigation of the field. You'll survey the area, you'll look at what the main issues are, what the main areas of conflict or contention are, what main theories have been presented to try and explain that, and who are the interested parties in that field. Then the idea is that the second part, the Dissertation B, what I'll say in term 2, will take a very, very focused look at part of that topic. And you'll drill right down and look at in a lot of detail about that. So that's, as I said, there are no complete hard and fast rules about this, but that's the model we're beginning with how we make those two parts work. The first part is a more general investigation. It still has to have an argument and a thesis and everything else, and we'll come to that and we'll explain what all that means. But it's a more general survey of what is the big issue. Second part will take one small narrow part of that and actually look at that in depth and in focus. So again, we will help you make those definitions. We'll help you define your topic and refine your topic so that you'll be able to make that distinction between dissertation and Dissertation B. So in the short term, have a think about those issues. I know I've spoken to some of you already, and I've already got a sense that some of you have very particular things you want to focus on. Others have an area that they're interested in, but not necessarily a sense of what are the particular issues they want to explore within that area. There's an area of law that they might be interested or like, or might be an area that they work in and present. In either case, we can work with you and help you to develop something that is really particular, that's something that's of interest to you and is something of benefit to you ongoing in your career. So I'm conscious that this video has been going on and on and on, so welcome once more. I think you'll find this year both challenging and interesting. This really is your next step forward in your career, and this is the space where you start carving out an area of expertise for yourself. And you start really defining who you are as a lawyer and where you're going. And that's going to be something that I think is going to be a very interesting journey for you, and it's going to be a very interesting journey for us to walk alongside you and help you out with that.